Welcome, guys. Let me turn this music down a little bit. How's everyone doing?
Hey, Jen.
Hey.
Hi.
Oh.
Hello, hello. I'm just letting everyone in. Uh-oh.
Howdy.
Here comes Milo. What's going on?
How's it going?
It's nice seeing people without bike helmets on right now. Oh, Milo.
Yeah.
That's why we can't recognize each other.
I know, I can't. Milo, don't bark. Why are you barking? Let Amy in. Lindsay. All right. Michelle, welcome. Hello, Eric.
Hi, Jen.
Got Anne, Bree. We'll give it a few minutes just to kind of get everyone settled. So a couple things. First of all, thanks for joining me. Second of all, hold on a minute. All right, there we go. Make sure you have, if you have one, a foam roller. That's going to be ideal. All right. If you have a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball, that's going to be really good too. If you have like a peanut, whatever you need. Let me go ahead and let a couple more in. Sarah. What's up, Sarah?
Hi.
Long time no chat. It's only been an hour.
I know, it's so long.
But yeah, grab your balls, pun intended, and grab your foam roller. You guys know I'm somewhat inappropriate here. Milo's probably going to crash the party.
I'm too immature to deal with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of how I am, right, Jen?
Guys, my iPad is not cooperating.
Uh-oh. Now you're just a big S. There's an S on your screen. Milo.
Okay, so you can't see me. Yeah.
I can see you. Yeah, I can see you now.
Lockie is watching you guys.
It keeps saying waiting in the middle of my screen.
Well, I'm not waiting for you. I see you just fine. I just had a bunch of blueberries. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Uh-huh. Just had a ton of blueberries. But yeah, we'll just let people, we're about a minute and a half after. Give you guys a couple minutes. How's everyone doing? Obviously, this is
Jen?
yeah. Oh my gosh. Wait, I don't see the, who's the belly? I didn't see the face.
Emily.
Oh my God, what's going on? Show us again. Oh, there you are. Oh my gosh. Yep, definitely.
30 weeks today. So
Definitely not
mountain
wearing
biking's a little
bike
bit on
spandex.
hold this season.
Well, this is kind of the best time I probably to be expecting, I would imagine. You just kind of hunker down, stay low.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to leave and then come back because like my thing is not cooperating.
No, do what you need to, Sarah. You're probably tired of me anyways. Oh, hold on a minute. It would help if I actually like reversed it. Here we go. Hey, Sarah. Sarah's on us with Instagram. Hey, Kia. All right. So what we're going to do, just to let you guys know, you know, this is just going to be, I'm not a yoga instructor. I went ahead and posted that. I almost became a yoga instructor years ago, like over 10 years ago. Oh God, no, actually 20 years ago. Really dating myself now. But here's the thing. I am eventually going to probably mute everyone just so then I could be the main actual screen. That way you're not kind of going back and forth and things like that. The other thing too is Instagram's yelling at me. There we go. It paused my live. This is just going to be a nice flow. All right. Chances are we're doing a lot more sitting than general or than normal rather. So, you know, because we are sitting a lot more, our hips are going to be pretty junky right now. You're going to be really tight, especially, you know, with our hip flexors, things like that, maybe into our TFL area, into our glutes. That can obviously impact some things, which I know we're not really, we shouldn't, you know, really not be biking a whole lot right now. But that can obviously impact us for when and if we do get on the bike, and or even if we're on a trainer indoors. So that is going to be the main focus is hips as well as shoulders. All right, shoulders, and it's mainly because, I mean, look at me right now, like I'm kind of slunched forward a little bit. Going to go ahead and open you guys up with your pecs, things like that. So we're just going to have a nice little flow. It's going to be nice hip openers, easy flowing, kind of going through the motion there. And Then we'll get into a little bit more flow with our upper body. So we're gonna go lower body, hips, things like that, maybe even touch our calves a little bit. And then we'll also get into more upper body and everything like that. All right, so we're 4 minutes in. I think everybody has joined that has joined. If anyone kind of wants to chat a little bit, by all means we can. I know that this is obviously a little bit of an unprecedented time. I've muted most of you guys, but feel free to unmute yourself if you want to like share a story or anything like that. I hear kiddos in the background, but you are allowed to unmute yourself, so consider that. I love that everyone's chatting on the chat too. I open the floor to you guys. If also let us know, unmute yourself and let us know if you do have a part of your body that's really kind of not feeling so swift right now. Russ is joined too. Awesome. Thanks, Annie. But yeah, feel free. I know it's kind of awkward and I'll just fill the awkward silence.
I would love some calf action going on. I did a lot of toe taps the other day and it hurts to stand.
Okay, let's solve that. Thanks, Jacqueline. We can definitely do that. We're going to be doing a little bit of calf openers just against your sofa or things like that. So there's a couple things you're going to need. I already talked about foam roller in case you just joined us because we had a few people who just joined us. Oh, iPad is joining us. That might be Sarah. So foam roller, grab your lacrosse ball or tennis ball or mobility peanut or something like that. If you have a yoga mat, obviously grab that. The only other thing that we'll be using, there's Milo, by the way, in the background, for those of you that were asking about him. The only thing we're also going to be using is a sofa or an ottoman or something that you want to really do like a couch stretch off of. Obviously, a sofa is ideal for a couch stretch. But all right, let's get started. So I'm going to get this situated a little bit more to where you guys can kind of see me. Awkward boob shot there for my non-existent boobs, but let's start there. First thing we're gonna do, we are gonna do just a little bit of a yoga flow at first. So for those of you that are allergic to yoga, I apologize, this is only temporary. We are gonna go out into a plank position. We're gonna get to those those hands just underneath our shoulders. We're going to tuck our tailbone under, really engage that core. So go ahead and meet me here. From here, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna rock back. Now, down dog, I'm not the best at this because I do have tight calves and tight hamstrings. So we're just going to ask you guys to gas pedal. Still actively press up against that floor with your hands. I'm glad Milo's not all over me right now. Gas pedal those feet. From here, whatever number you're on, let's go ahead and do 10 more gas pedals. Just try to reach that heel down to the floor. Right, once you reach 10, come up onto your toes and really push through your hands, get a nice little stretch here. Then we're gonna come back down to plank. From here, we're gonna do some hip openers. I might angle a little bit more towards you guys, as long as I don't kick Milo in the face. Now this could be uncomfortable for some of you. If it is, grab a pillow. You're just gonna set it up against your butt, unless you have a yoga block or something like that. But we're just gonna get into a nice little figure 4 stretch here, AKA pigeon, whatever you wanna call it. But really this is just a nice figure 4, kind of opening up that hip. From here, this is going to look different for all of us depending on injury, hip, low back issues. But I want you to kind of explore that whole hip area. And just kind of go left to right. I hope you didn't just hear my back crack. that was a loud ass crack. I guess I needed this. And then just go left to right again, exploring that hip area. Crack in your back maybe. And you're just gonna go through that whole range, whatever that looks like for you. Don't push it if you start to feel pain. The rule is don't push through the pain. All right, you're not being a hero, but just kind of find that spot for you and find that space for you. Go through at least 2 to 3 more times from here. And from here, you're just gonna be upright. Chest is facing that knee. You can go ahead and bring yourself forward as much as you need to. If you need to hug that pillow or put a block on top, you can do that as well. This is totally up to you guys, whatever feels good to you. We're just gonna come down here and we're gonna hold for 20 seconds. I'll watch the clock for us. I showered and I even washed my hair for you guys. You're welcome. And I'm on the floor and I'm seeing some dog hair. All right, 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Ease up out of that. You're gonna come down into basically a quadruped position. Hands are underneath your shoulders. You're gonna go ahead and switch legs. So get into that left leg. Same thing, find whatever's comfortable for you. Use your prop, get it underneath your butt if you need to, whatever that looks like for you guys. But let's explore left to right with that. My back just popped on this side. I swear I take care of myself. Hopefully this feels good for you guys. If you at any point do feel something weird, funky, or anything like that, go ahead, unmute yourself, let me know. I can modify anything. From here, pass through that hip, explore that hip 3 more times, left to right. I don't know if you guys can hear my music, but for those of you that I coach at the gym, y'all know I like Odessa. So I have that playing in the background. People on Instagram could probably hear it. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. All right, a couple more times. From there, when you've reached 2 to 3 times, just go ahead and collapse forward, whatever that looks like. Again, put the pillow there, yoga block, whatever you have. Come down, rest on your elbows. You can come all the way down, bring your face down, whatever this looks like for you guys, all right? Sit here. I'm watching the clock for us. Ten more seconds. All right, and release out of that. Now we're gonna do a little hamstring action, all right? So a nice little straddle stretch. If any of you guys were lucky enough to be in track and field back in the day. Just a nice little straddle stretch. So you're gonna go ahead, let's start with our left leg, if you can. Bring in that right leg as much as you can. This space here looks different for everyone, all right? So we're just gonna find what that looks like for you. Sit up tall, shoulders are facing forward. Now we're gonna go ahead, rotate towards our left leg, trying to hinge at the hip, a lot like you would for a deadlift, Lindsay, and go ahead and hinge forward. Then you're just gonna go ahead, grab that shin. I'm just gonna hang here for a good 20 seconds. I've got the clock. I'm trying not to breathe deeply into your ears since I'm wearing an earpiece here. Good, release that. Let's go ahead and switch legs. Bring both feet in together. Find what that space looks like for you on the other side. Again, you're going to rotate facing that leg. You can go ahead and actually bring up that toe if you want to, all right? Instead of having it forward. This is totally up to you. And then just hinge forward. Find that spot, and I'm watching the clock. We're here for 20 seconds. Don't forget to breathe. Get some nice belly breaths in. Really push out that belly button. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, calf stretch. So ease out of that a little bit. For the calf stretch, you're just going to kind of come up. I always start with my left leg, but that's just my personal preference. And what this is going to look like, it's just a little bit of basically dorsiflexion. So we're trying to get a little bit more stretch here. Now, this looks different for everyone, okay? You can kind of come up into this position here. And what you can do is basically pretend like you're putting some weight on your knee. You're gonna bring that other leg kind of out to the side, all right? I know it's a really attractive pose here, but what we're gonna do is we're just going to keep that heel down, so keep that heel nice and flat on the ground, but you're gonna push a little bit of weight on that bottom leg. This should feel a nice stretch for you, Jacqueline, in your calf here. Let's go ahead and find that. We're not doing a ton of calf work here today, so we're gonna actually hold this position a little bit longer. You can also rock back and forth if you need to. Totally up to you. Again, this stretch is all yours, whatever that looks like for you guys. Ten more seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. Ease out of that. Come back down onto your knees, switch legs. Same thing on the other side. Not used to the yoga mat being on carpet. You're gonna find that spot for you, whatever, again, that looks like for you. Don't push through pain. If it feels uncomfortable, I'm just gonna go ahead and come back and then go back into it. Kind of test the waters a little bit. And I'll start keeping track from this point forward. Hold the stretch. Don't do what I'm doing. I have some questions here. All right, cool. Good. You can kind of come back out of it and go back into it. We have 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Sweet. Calves are done. But that is something that I really recommend going back to, especially if you guys are following any at-home workouts, because unfortunately sometimes at-home workouts can lack a little bit of creativity and they can have you squatting a little bit more or jumping a little bit more often. So calves can kind of play a little bit of a role. Keep in mind that even though you might be having some discomfort in your hips, you may actually be experiencing some knee issues or things like that. Whose dog is that? Hey, Bree, I see your dogs. That's awesome. But yeah, so just keep in mind, you know, even though you might be experiencing some hip issues, could be some issues, you know, even in your core, or it could be some issues, you know, with your quads or hamstrings being a little bit tight. We're going to explore it all at this point. But next, we're going to do one of my favorites. It's a 90-90. I'm like so impressed with Milo. Usually he's all over me. He must just know. So what a 90-90 looks like, we're gonna start off here in this position, right? So you're starting off seated up. My feet are just in front of me like so, nothing fancy, right? What we're gonna do is we're gonna take those knees down to the left. I'm still standing or sitting upright, just gonna hang out here. Then we're gonna go over to the right. Oh, I'm gonna disturb Milo. Okay, still 90-90, and why it's called 90-90 is basically your knees are at about a 90-degree angle, right? So we're just gonna go through that left to right at least 10 times. At your own pace, you guys can go when you're ready, all right? Just 90-90 left. You can kind of hang out. The other thing you can do is you can twist over. Hi, buddy. You can twist over. And then twist back and then go to the next, all right? It's super convenient going leg to leg, super comfortable, kind of awkward. And then just twist left to right. keep going through. You guys keep it up. I just have a question that I need to answer. Yeah, someone said they felt the calf stretch a little bit more in your ankles. Yes, chances are that could be. I'm not here to diagnose or anything like that. Chances are it could be that you're feeling, or you might have a limitation, which I see very often, especially in the mountain bikers that I work with. You might have a little bit of an ankle limitation with the dorsiflexion. So with this type of stretch, keep up with a 90-90, but this type of stretch here just might have some limitation here. Think about your history in terms of injuries, like how often have you sprained your ankle? How often have you actually broken your ankle in the past? Things like that, but it is something you can actually work on, just increasing your dorsiflexion range of motion. Good, once you guys get 10 through, just sit up straight after that 90-90. And I can kind of see most of you guys. Oh yeah, it looks like all of you guys are done. Awesome. All right, next, we're gonna do a little thread through, okay? So what this looks like is all fours here, okay? So my hands are just underneath my shoulders. Core is nice and tight, so I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna have a sway back here. I'm gonna go ahead, bring that belly button in, tuck that pelvis under or tailbone under. From here, knees are just underneath my hips. From here, I'm gonna go ahead and take my left hand, because you know I like to start with my left. I'm gonna thread that through, just like so. And we're gonna hang out here for 30 seconds. Breathe through it, guys. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good, release. Now switch. So ready. Gonna thread that through. And you're just gonna hang out. Again, 30 seconds. Breathe through, guys. On your next exhale, try to go a little bit further with that hand. Reach through. Three, 2, 1. Good, ease out of that. Come on up to all fours. Let me get my hair out of the way. All right, next we're gonna do a little bit of a pec stretch. All right, because we are probably sitting a little bit more. If you do have the luxury of working from home, you're sitting a little bit more. You might be over your laptop or your desktop. So pecs can get just a little bit tight and a little bit junky there. Junky is the scientific term. We're gonna go ahead, find ourselves face first on the floor. It's a mouthful. And from here, we're gonna make a T with our body. I hope you guys just heard Milo sigh. Make a T with your arms, just bring them out to the side. Palms are gonna be facing down. All right, I am totally gonna crash into Milo here. So I'm gonna actually take my right first, my right leg up and over. And I'm gonna bring it down without scrunching my dog here. And just hang out here. If you want, you can go ahead, take your right hand, press it down on the floor, push up a little bit more. The purpose here is I'm stretching my left pec, maybe even my bicep a little bit. Make sure that that hand in that palm that's facing you or behind you is flat. Good, from here, we're gonna go ahead and switch. Same thing on the other side. This time, right hand is flat. And then you're bringing that all the way around. Left leg all the way around. This is gonna look different for everyone. This could be your end range, or all the way to the floor can be your end range, whatever it is for you. Go ahead and hold it. Don't do what I'm doing. 10 more seconds. Oh, pregnant belly. Sorry, Emily, I didn't see this. Actually, if you want, for pec stretch with a pregger belly here, go ahead and use that couch here. You're gonna go ahead up, come to all fours. You have your right hand flat on that couch. Then you're just going to rotate away. So it's still mimicking that same movement, okay? But make sure that when you come out of it, you are purposefully bringing that shoulder out, because this is a very vulnerable position for shoulders, coming from someone who almost dislocated hers. So just be careful, make sure that you're really being mindful of that. All right, Emily, hopefully that helps. All right. Awesome. How's everyone feeling? If anyone's feeling any weirdness, let me know. Pop out of that stretch. Go ahead and come up to a seated position. All right, from here, we're gonna do a little bit of a deep squat here. All right, so you're gonna do a deep squat with your left leg forward. You're gonna find yourself in basically a lunge position. So I shouldn't say a squat position, but a nice lunge position here. From here, left leg is in front, okay? So opposite leg, opposite hand. So I'm gonna take my right hand, plant it flat on that ground, and then I'm gonna take my left and I'm gonna face that knee that's in front of me and get a nice little thoracic spine or upper spine stretch in. I'm gonna hold for a count of 10. Then you're gonna come back down. You can get a little bit more stretch here if you want to. If you wanna come down to the ground, it's totally up to you. Again, this is your end range of motion. But you're gonna go ahead then and get a little bit of a stretch with your hamstring. So now you're gonna sit back in that position here. All right, you're gonna sit back. Nice little hamstring stretch here. And then you're gonna come up and you're gonna do that again. So another little T-spine rotation. Hands are flat on the ground. Opposite hand stays down from the opposite leg. And you're gonna stretch towards that knee that's in front of you. Good. Come down. You can get as much of a stretch as you need to, whatever that looks like for you. And then we're gonna switch legs. Same thing on the other side, except this time, you're just gonna be twisting right. Hold for a few seconds. Then come back down. Get a little bit of a deeper stretch for that hip if you're feeling it. Then you're gonna come back up and do a rotation again. Come back down. Get a little bit of a stretch in. And then come back up. And then do a little bit of a hamstring stretch too, all right? Hamstring stretch is kind of at your leisure. I know everyone's hammies are a little bit different, like the rest of our bodies. Good, from here, come up. Now, let's do a little bit of a lat stretch here. So I'm gonna rotate you guys over here to the sofa. Milo's still in the background for those of you guys that love him. Got a question. All right, bye Bree, thanks for joining us. I know you have to run. For the lat stretch, thing here is you're gonna have your elbows on a surface, whether that's a chair or sofa or ottoman, whatever you have. You go ahead and bring that in. Now again, theme of the day is really tucking that tailbone under, engaging that core. I'm gonna go ahead, palms are facing you, facing your shoulders. You're just gonna lean back and then try to bring your head through that window. It's a little bit hard at the angle that I'm at to show you guys, but I'm gonna even up, just show you guys here. You can move your hands back and forth. And hold for another 10 seconds. Keep holding, keep holding. What's up, Claire? Thanks for joining. Keep holding that here. Cool. Few more seconds. Good, ease out of that. Ease out of it slowly. All right, next, hips. We're gonna do a nice little couch stretch on the couch, suitably. So what this looks like, now this will look different for a lot of you guys, depending on your hip history, knee history. First things first that I do recommend, if you have a hardwood floor and you don't have a rug underneath, I recommend bringing a pillow over. I don't want to give you guys knee bursitis in all of this. So what this looks like, and this is going to look different for most of us, but we're going to get it into a little bit of a split squat here, okay? It's basically like a lunge. You're going to try to bring your knee as close as you can to the sofa here, okay? Now, from here, what that's going to look like is you're going to basically try to bring, again, tailbone tucked under, all right? Try to bring yourself backwards and forwards a little bit. Tailbone tucked under though. That's gonna be the most important piece in all of this, is tucking that tailbone under, engaging your core if you're not pregnant, engaging that core a little bit, but tucking that tailbone under really drives a little bit more focus on that actual hip flexor, okay? We just don't want this to happen, all right? That overextension is really not gonna feel very good. So tuck that tailbone under. We're holding this for a good 30. This is something you guys can do when you're binging Netflix at any point. So please feel free to use this. Ten more seconds. Milo is passed out. All right, ease out of this. So come back onto all fours, switch legs, same thing on the other side. Nothing new here. Again, tuck that tailbone under, engage that core just a little bit, and that will help emphasize the stretch into that hip area. Oh, good question. How's Russ feeling, Annie? Feeling all right? Yeah, good. Yeah, Anya, looking good. Nice, you guys are looking really good. Oh, you're good, Shay. Take care of that kiddo. Thanks so much for doing this. Next, we're just gonna get into a foam roller. So you guys are good if you need to dip out. Good. Ease out of that, guys. All right. Grab yo foam roller. We're gonna get you guys hopefully super de-stressed. So, caveat. First of all, if you don't have a foam roller, you can grab a Nalgene bottle. I wouldn't recommend rolling directly onto a hard piece of plastic. You can go ahead and coat it with a towel if you have one, a hand towel or something like that. That would actually feel pretty good. The other thing I do recommend is possibly getting a foam roller if you can. They're about maybe $20, $40 tops. The biggest caveat though that I have is if you guys have not yet worked out, okay, do not roll out your low back before you work out, all right? Cardinal sin, number one, don't do that. And it's generally because we need those spinal erectors to be nice and activated before any type of workout, okay? So if you haven't worked out and you're planning on working out in the next couple of hours, I just don't recommend that you roll out that low back, okay?
I ended up doing mine before this.
Okay, good. I'm glad. So Sarah knew that I was gonna give her a heads up because she's deadlifting. And of course with deadlifting, the last thing you wanna do is freaking roll out your low back before you deadlift. Not that you're gonna hurt yourself, it's just your muscles aren't going to be as engaged. The weight, even if it's like 100 pounds or something on the barbell, it's gonna feel really heavy, or whatever is heavy for you guys. Okay, so from here, I'm not doing my low back. I'm gonna do from mid back up. So feet are flat. I'm gonna lift my hips up a little bit. I'm gonna give myself a hug because we can't hug one another, so we might as well hug ourselves. All right, so lift those hips up a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and roll up to our upper back, not our neck area, but just in between our shoulder blades. and then come back to mid back. All right, no low back for you guys. Just to mid back. We're gonna go ahead and do 10 sweeps of that area. And my back is cracking again because I haven't been able to see chiro or my massage therapist in a few weeks now. Sweet guys. Just keep that hip up. I'm like slowly traveling off of my mat here. Again, hips are up. Don't go into that low back. Now, if you're not working out the rest of the day, go ahead and finish with that low back. Just a few strokes. Again, hips are still elevated, feet are flat. You're still giving yourself some love with that hug, but you can actually roll out your low back a little. Just a few. Cool. After that, my yoga mat's all over the place here. Hi, my woes. After that, we're gonna do a little quad, like flush out. So what this looks like is I'm gonna take that foam roller just above the knee, all the way up to my hip area, all right? No contact with your bone or anything like that. How you're gonna do this is you're gonna use your hands to support. You're gonna go ahead, angle yourself to where you're not actually, your hips aren't facing the floor, but you're angling them out a little bit. So you're gonna get on that outer quad on the outside of your leg. Let's go ahead and do 5 sweeps of that quad. Then you're gonna bring your hips forward and do 5 sweeps on the top of your quad. And then finish it off with a super sensitive spot, which could be your inner quad a little bit. It's gonna again be super awkward, but should feel really good. Do about 3 to 5 sweeps of that inner quad. Definitely don't forget to breathe through this. It'll help kind of flush everything out. Same thing on the other leg. So you're gonna go ahead and do 3 to 5 rolls on the outside of your quad, then on the top, and then on the inside, all right? Let's go ahead and do that when you guys are ready. And try not to knock my dog out. Keep doing this, guys. I just have a question here. Oh yeah, Jennifer, yeah. Glad that tip helped. I know a lot of us, and actually a lot of trainers and coaches don't really know to not roll out your low back before a workout. That's totally fine. It's fine. We're all learning. Research is still evolving. We just gotta keep learning. That's all. All right. I'm sorry, you guys have to listen to my like breathing right now. Once you're done with your inner quad, go ahead and just meet me here. Thanks, Anya. Have a good one. Hope to see you in the next few weeks when the trails are back open and everything. All right, next we're gonna do lats. So get on that side. From here, it's gonna start about mid, well, Eric, you won't know, but right where your bra strap line is, okay? So Eric, you can imagine where it is, but all of you ladies are gonna start here, right where your bra strap line is, sports bra strap, whatever. Or if you guys aren't wearing a bra, you know where it goes. You're gonna start here and you're gonna bring it all the way up into that armpit area. Arm is above you as much as you can with range of motion, and all depends on your shoulder. Just gonna lift that hip up a little bit and then come on up and then do a few sweeps of that and then switch sides. I haven't worn a bra in weeks and it's liberating as fuck. Yep, that's right, Jennifer. It is. I've just been basically wearing a sports bra. All right, after you guys do a few sweeps of that right side or left, whatever you started on, I didn't actually direct you guys. You're gonna go ahead and switch to the other side. Same thing, starting around that bra strap line, Eric. Arm is above you as much as you can. You're gonna pick up those hips and then just start from mid chest and then come up, okay? I'm gonna do 3 to 5 sweeps of that area. If you find a spot, especially chances are you might find a spot maybe right here in your rear shoulder area, rotator cuff area, things like that. Again, a really common, very vulnerable area, especially for those of you in the group that are mountain biking. I know a few of you guys also CrossFit, so we tend to just be very vulnerable in that position, okay? So this musculature here, if you're finding after we're done with our session today, if you're finding you're a little tight there, what you can do is you can just hang out here and then go left to right, or forwards and backwards rather, if you find like a knot or something. So that's something you guys can do. Maybe not necessarily right now, but hopefully that helped you guys. Anyone have any questions about stuff that I've gone over or anything? If you do, just unmute yourself. And I'm going to finish off with probably a spot that all of us are experiencing some angst and stuff. Uh-oh. Yeah. So there's a couple different spots you can use with this, and Zoom is really sweet because I actually have the free version and they're like, hey, we noticed you're still doing this. Guess what? It's free. So thank you, Zoom. Couple different spots you can do this. So hip area, TFL area is really popular, especially since we've been sitting a lot, as well as shoulder blade area. For those of you who have coached in person in Denver, you know how much I love this thing on those two spots especially. Now, with the TFL area, basically just try to find your hip bone. Then hip bone's kind of in front. Then you're going to go off to the side. And there's a little bit of like some meaty areas. Really, you don't want to put this lacrosse ball on any bone because that's obviously uncomfortable. But supporting with your right hand or right arm underneath you, just like we did with the foam roller, we're going to go ahead and roll onto that ball. You'll find a sensitive spot. Maybe it's not necessarily TFL, it could be anywhere around the hip flexor area, just that entire hip capsule. Wherever that is for you guys, I want you to find it, right? Feel free, unmute, curse yourself.
I was going to ask, is there a good place to work on this for a hip flexor?
Hip flexor, it would be more in the front. So okay. You're actually going to kind of angle your hips more towards the front area, all right, towards the floor rather. And then you're going to bring that ball, again, not on the hip bone, but it will be kind of in that vicinity there where you'd normally feel that stretch. Like I just found it. Heavy breathing alert. Just breathe through it. You're going to hang out. Try not to spend more than 30 seconds to a minute here, just because you can kind of overdo it a little bit. Do it in intervals, you know, maybe like 30 seconds on, then move it to another spot, 30 seconds there, move to another spot. For those of you guys that are pregnant, this will not be really overly recommended because you don't want to keep you don't want to make your hips even looser, generally speaking. So just be a little bit careful with this because your hips are already loose with pregnancy, all right? Hormones just adapt with that. So let's go ahead and hang out for another 15 seconds. Got a question here. Not a question, just people telling me it hurts. Breathe through it. If it's uncomfortable now, remember, it could be a little bit painful, and that's totally fine. Lindsay's dying. Don't die, Lindsay. Actually, my earbuds are dying right now. All right. Go ahead and ease out of that. Now switch to the other hip, all right? Switch to the other hip, same thing. Now wherever this feels, because we're all different, we're all gonna have a variation of just like kind of where we're feeling it in our hip area, but just find out where that area is for you and then sit on it, all right? Sit on it, breathe through it. I know for me, it's generally my hip flexor, TFL, and then also into my glutes, because that's one thing we didn't rule out. Necessarily because we've been sitting a little bit more. Because we've been sitting a little bit more, it can usually cause a little bit more hip discomfort. It's not to say that you shouldn't roll out your glutes. You should, but got 30 seconds here. I'm watching the clock. And again, if you find that spot that's sensitive, then go ahead and sit there. Enjoy it, breathe. Don't hold your breath, right? The breathing will definitely help. Sorry, the internet connection is a little bit off. Good. 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1, ease out of that. Lacrosse ball, shoulder blade. All right, so there's a couple of things here. You want the lacrosse ball to be basically between your spine and your shoulder blade. That's where we tend to hold a lot of our just tension, things like that, especially with us sitting a little bit more. So you're just gonna find that spot, put the lacrosse ball there, and you're just gonna hang out and find where that issue is. My AirPods just died. It's because we were talking before this, Sarah. We're just gonna hang out here. All right, so now there's a couple of things with the shoulder blade movement here. With this, once we find that spot, what you want is you want to go ahead, relax your head. So don't do what I'm doing right now, I'm looking at you guys. All right, so you're gonna relax your head all the way down. I have the lacrosse ball underneath my right shoulder. So I'm actually gonna basically karate chop right next to my thigh here, right next to my leg. I have the other opposite leg up for support. From here, you're gonna karate chop up. Oops, karate chop up above your head, all right? And then karate chop next to your thigh. This might look different for you guys. This range of motion might look different, all right? So play around with it, see what this feels like for you guys. Get through that range of motion. I will say usually going to the end range overhead is where a lot of people might have some limitations there. That's totally fine. This is, again, your stretch session. You have 20 more seconds here. Once you get into that little spot and that's starting to feel relaxed, go ahead and inch up or down on the lacrosse ball and breathe. All right, guys, breathe. That's the key word. I'm watching the clock. Good, Annie. Good. Just try to keep that chin tucked. Try to keep that head nice and neutral. Wendy, I haven't seen you yet. Hi, Wendy. This is awesome. I just love watching so many people mobilize. This just makes me so happy. Nice work, guys. All right, now guess what? Wherever you felt some angst and tension, you can go back to it, all right? You can totally go back to it after we're done here. Go back to it later tonight. Let's switch to the left side right now. Trust me, I'm spending less time with the lacrosse ball on your shoulder blades than I'd like, but just for the sake of time and things like that, because I know not everyone really has a lot, well, some of us do. Some of us have a little bit more time, but I know some of us also don't. So, down here, find that left shoulder, again, in between the spine and the shoulder blade. You're gonna have the opposite leg up for support, so I have my right leg up, balls underneath my left shoulder, taking that left arm, resting my head on the ground, and I'm gonna go ahead and karate chop down next to my thigh, and then all the way up above my head. Get in at least 10 or so passes or karate chops, and then go up and down. Find another spot. I know for me, I usually feel this on my right side more than my left. You could find that yourself. Thanks, Natalie. Thanks for joining. Awesome. But yeah, this is gonna get your whole shoulder girdle. Let's go ahead and keep doing that. Good, Wendy. Nice. What's up? Now I can see you. Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Ann. I haven't seen you. Hey, Amy. Oh, hey, Jess. You're crashing the party. I love it. I see eyes for someone labeled iPad. I don't know who you are, but I see eyeballs.
Hi. Oh God. All right, Lindsay, Ann, you're not allowed to have like a foam roller fight. Good. Ease out of that, guys. So lacrosse ball. What I'm kind of suggesting, like going forward, especially like prepping you guys for bedtime and relaxing. Pardon me for saying it like this. Let's not watch the fucking news. All right. But let's not watch the news for at least an hour before bed. That's my prescription for you guys. Let's not, try not to be on social media if we can. Just avoid it for at least an hour before bed, just to let our brain kind of relax a little bit. The other thing I recommend is the foam roller, especially if you've already worked out for the day. Go ahead and do that same series of just kind of easing out, rolling up and down your spine, especially incorporating your lower back into it. It's going to really relax you guys before bed. All right. So that's the second thing. The other thing is lacrosse ball, if you can, maybe do a little bit of a flow, like whatever I showed you just now. I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to try to do this maybe once a week, maybe not this long. Maybe we're going to focus on one thing where it's just hips or just shoulders one day. Because, here we're going on almost about an hour or so, but I wanted to give you guys a lot of love and kick this off a little bit, because I know that I've gotten a lot of messages over the last couple of weeks with just increase in stress with everyone. And I really hope that this helped. It's not really yoga style, but it's just to kind of stretch you guys. This is more like an athletic stretch session, but I really recommend foam rolling before bed, especially up and down that spinal column. And then if you can, maybe lacrosse ball out some knots a little bit. And if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself. Same thing with calves. Yeah, Annie, I know you asked about calves. Whatever is good for you guys. If you're feeling it, hopefully this helps. Now I will say for calves, like I won't do it today, but I usually like to roll out my shin, because even though you're feeling some tension maybe in your calf, usually any opposing musculature is actually what's going to be creating some of the discontent in your body. Okay. So I usually, and I can show you guys this next week, if you want to join, show you how to kind of smash out your shins as well as your calf using that foam roller. You can also use a lacrosse ball too. Yeah, thanks, Eric. Thanks so much. It's so good seeing you. Wait, you're going to wear oh my God, you're going to wear your Lady Gaga costume bra next time if that helps you. Yes, it will. You'll know exactly where it is. All right, I'm going to unmute everyone. But yeah, thanks again for coming. I really appreciate it. Hopefully this has kind of brought you a little bit of peace into your day. Let me know, shoot me a message on Instagram or Facebook, or, if you have my number, you can text me. Just try not to text me outside of business hours if you can, because I'm trying to turn off my phone. Shoot me a message on Instagram, whatever's good for you guys. But I really want to be here for you guys. Just kind of help us navigate this together. Right. So yeah, if you have any questions or you're feeling any sticky spots in your body, let me know. I like geeking out on this. All right, guys.
Thanks, Jen.
Thanks, Jen.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It was so good seeing everyone.
Yep.
Anyone want to chat for a few minutes afterwards now? Because you're giving me all this time.
You're ripped.
Whose iPad?
You're like so ripped, man.
Wait, whose iPad? Whose iPad, by the way? They were just eyeballs earlier, and that's all I saw. I'm gonna log off.
It just said iPad left the meeting.
Yeah, it was iPad left the meeting, and I was like, whose iPad? I don't know. And all I saw
Was it Aaron?
It was like if you've ever watched
Home Improvement.
Oh yes, thank you, Home Improvement.
Neighbor.
Hey buddy, why don't you come here? Come here, Milo.
Hi, Milo.
Yeah,
I'm only here for Milo.
Come on. That's great. Thanks, Jen. Oh, he's laying down. What the hell? Here.
Aww.
Look at this.
Aww.
He has sugar face, guys. He's getting older.
Aww.
But it's like 24/7 moms right now. So he's laying down. I don't have to go to the gym now. Oops. How's everyone feeling? How's everyone feeling at home in terms of like your space?
Very happy we have 2 stories.
Yeah, Aaron and I are. And we've been together for like 10 years, but we're like, okay, this is maybe a little too much.
I'm not usually we both work from home and I'm not usually in the basement during work hours. So got the door closed so you can work now. And I've got the dogs here. I don't know if the dachshund will resurface, but you can see Maki.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Maki.
Maki.
Right,
Oh
girl?
my gosh.
She's occasionally been watching. She's been really funny.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Sarah, wait, which one is that?
Oh, laugh. Oh.
Look at the face.
I like how we all let our dogs in.
I know. Hi.
Hey, you can
My
come
cat was helping with the yoga. She was like talking in.
Yeah, I was wondering whose cat that was.
That was
Awesome.
mine.
I
Rex.
love it.
This is her pet, which I think like really summarizes everything that this is a T-Rex cactus, and it is sharp as shit.
Where did Anne go? Did she dip out already? What the hell?
She had
Yeah, she had to work. Shh.
I know,
Thanks,
right?
Wendy. Thanks for coming. How's your husband feeling, Lindsay?
Very alone, I think.
Is he feeling better though?
Yeah, I think so. He's very nondescript, man flu. So who knows? Like,
It could be COVID. It could be man flu. Who knows? Oh man, not to laugh about a serious situation, but you have to have some sort of sense of humor.
about the same level of drama. So
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you guys have places to crash and stuff. Milo's like stress yawning. Hi, buddy. Well, this is
You
fun.
can see Banjo over my shoulder.
Yeah. Oh, I do. I see the face.
Yeah,
what's
little
his name?
Banjo.
Oh,
Aw.
God, look at that
Go
face.
ahead.
Oh,
Go.
Milo's trying to look now. Oh, okay, now he's not. Oh my God. Okay, dude. Okay, so I'm thinking about doing this. Hey, Kia, thanks. Oh, you got to go back to work. That's all right.
No, not work.
Lone wolf live
Get
it.
that out.
You should just foster a dog or something maybe for a few weeks.
I can barely take care of myself most of the time.
Don't do it.
Anyway, thanks so much.
Yeah,
See you
thanks, Kia. It's good seeing you.
Now I got to figure out how to hang this thing up.
Oh man. Yeah.
There's a
Okay.
somewhere.
I'm thinking of doing this every Friday or so. I think Friday is kind of a good day. It's kind of helping us like
Let me know. I got to put in my calendar and block it off right now.
Yeah,
because
no,
I
it's
don't want to
fine.
get a schedule thing.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine. Let me check my schedule first. Hold on. I have to make sure that I don't have any conflicting scheduled items. Because I think like later in the day might be a little bit better for some people.
Sure, that's fine too.
It just all depends. Like I don't know what some of you guys were thinking. Because
I have nothing.
Yeah, you're like, oh no.
I have days of nothing. I just be on the computer and be on it.
Oh man. Okay. Well then, I'm just trying to think.
I work from home.
Yeah, it'll definitely be Fridays. I know, because I feel like the end of the week is pretty good for most of us. It's kind of a nice way to like wind down and stuff. To kind of get into a little bit of a weekend where you have a little bit more flexibility if you're not working on weekends. But yeah, just to give you a heads up, I'll try to post it. I might even post it to the CrossFit Verve page too. So Jacqueline, Jennifer, I didn't want to do it today because like I knew that Maddie was going to be posting things, so I didn't want it to conflict too much because she's been doing some great things with flowing, like posting some flow videos and stuff. Oh my God, look at the cute cat.
The kitty.
Oh God. Can I click on the video? Okay, there we go. Oh, he's out. He's like, peace, I'm out. Too much attention on me. But yeah.
Jen, I have a question.
I threw the ball.
Yeah, who has a question?
Me.
Oh, hey, what's up, Jen?
Other Jen.
The other Jen.
So I haven't done the workout yet, obviously, because I would have done it with you if I did it already. But I'm going to do it later. So I always have like lower back. Like that's my hardest thing with deadlifts, which I love deadlifts. So what, like beside, because I use this usually for lower back. Is there anything else?
What did you just hold up?
On the foam roller.
The foam roller? Okay. After your workout, yeah, do the low back with the foam roller, after you're done with the deadlifts. The other thing too that I really like is actually that 90-90 stretch that I did earlier. Oh, sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. That will actually help. Oh God, he's moving everything. That will help open up your low back a little bit, especially if you incorporate a little bit of a torso stretch. Okay.
Yeah, that felt good when I did that.
Yeah, it's just kind of helping your SI joints a little bit. I mean, again, I'm not a freaking doctor. I just play one on. But chances are, if you're experiencing any low back issues, it's almost, I won't say always, I hate that word. I just like that word. But like generally, SI joints are the bitches of the low body, or the low back rather. So when they get a little bit tied up, especially from sitting and things like that, try to do that 90-90 and get that torso rotation in, and that should help. Okay, but try to do it like 2 to 3 times a week at least.
Because I always end up with like a really tight lower back. A lot of times what I'll do is if you take bring your ankle to the other side of your knee and twist. It, and press your arm into your knee and twist both ways. It loosens up your lower back a lot.
Yeah.
I usually use my yoga blocks too to like put one under my spine and then one behind my head, and that is
yeah, and that would help, especially at night, kind of what I was hinting at earlier, if we kind of need to chill out before bed, if like we're not sleeping really well, which I know I'm not. You know, I actually have a friend of mine who's like my sister from another mister. Her name's Allison. She is a yoga instructor, but she's also a really heavy lifter. She has some great little videos that maybe I can share as a comment on my various posts on social media, where she just has some like flows, and some of them just include like the decompression, like de-stressing flow, where you literally are just laying there, which to me is my favorite kind of yoga, where you're just laying a block underneath your head and underneath your low back, and it kind of helps you just release and relax.
I usually try to do like a restorative yoga once a week because I do like to lift heavy.
Yeah.
I haven't been lately because I don't have a barbell yet, but
you and me too. You and me, sister.
I'm waiting on it. It'll be here like in 3 months probably. I don't know. But yeah, so I know some things, but yeah, that was helpful today.
Okay, good. Well, sweet. Then let's
Can we do glutes and butt muscles next time?
Yeah, no, totally. I'm down for that because I know that that's generally, and I had it in my note here to do it, but I was like, dude, Jen, we're already at 40 minutes and I had already gotten my alert from Zoom, like, we're extending your call. And I was like, oh, that's nice. This is why I'm not a yoga instructor. I'm only used to teaching barbell or like strength classes and timing for that. So
I have a tight ass and not in a good way.
I mean, do you have a lacrosse ball or you have a tennis ball?
Yeah, I had a tennis ball.
Okay, because a tennis ball might be actually a little bit better because it's softer. I usually recommend like getting it. So I had you guys doing the hip and like into the TFL area. I recommend doing it into a little bit more of like your glute muscle, and then obviously like sitting back onto it. The key here, all right, is I always have a caveat. I'm always like so dramatic. The key here is try not to have it go over your sciatica, okay? So try to be in the meaty part of your butt, and I'm at an angle, as you can see here with my hips. Now, if I were to come up and have the ball directly under my sits bones, avoid that, because again, bones bad. So don't have it around your sits bone area because then you can actually aggravate your sciatica, and that doesn't feel very good. Cool.
Bye, Jen. I gotta get back to work.
Bye,
Thank you for everything.
Yeah, thank you.
Setting up live people too. That was really cool.
Yeah, I know. Isn't this nice? I like this. I think I need to continue this after this hell. All right.
Well, it's like sticking around after workouts sometimes, or like doing work and doing like an accessory thing just with people.
Yeah.
Probably not productive, but it's really nice to talk to people.
Yeah, I know. It's like just so nice to have people. Well, thanks for hanging out, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for showing up. Next time I post it, feel free to share it with your friends. I think Zoom can handle it. Maybe I'll even buy like a pro thing, or maybe I can actually use Courtney's. I don't know.
You probably could. If it's in off times, I don't think she would care.
Yeah.
If you rotate it to the Verve page too, I don't think she would have an issue with that at all.
The other thing too is if I can kind of maybe just make it like a 20-minute flow, and then we can chat for like a few minutes before and then a few minutes after.
Yeah.
If you use that 40 minutes, it should be fine. So yeah. Well, sweet.
I do have one thing that's news related.
Yeah, what's up,
Since you said don't watch the news, because I don't really watch the news, but yesterday I almost had a meltdown because, like an idiot, I turned on CNN and I was like, oh my God, this is so awful.
Of all the things to turn on.
Yeah, especially.
I know, I was like, turn it off. But I'm like, I feel like I have to educate myself somehow. So I usually like try to read like NPR like once a day. But my girlfriend, who's a doctor, she's like, please don't sit there and watch the news all day, which I don't anyway. But she sent me, she said the Skim is more of like a little lighthearted, but it actually tells the news. So that's it's, oh, you can't see it. It's S-K-I-M-M.
Yeah, S-K-I-M-M. Yeah, I've heard of it.
It's like the cliff notes of news.
Yeah.
Like, it's important stuff, doesn't scare the shit out of you.
Right. And that's what she's like, she's trying to tell me, like, she's OBGYN, so she's still working, but yeah. She's like, calm down, everything's fine. I'm like, I'm not actually stressed out. I just like don't have a choice to not leave the house. I'm pretty introverted, so this is fine. But also I like, my outlet is to go to the gym, and so this has been my outlet, is talking to people through Zoom.
Yeah. No, totally.
My boyfriend's working overtime, so he's doing 80 hours a week right now. So I get like no socialization.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What industry?
Yeah, I've actually found myself looking forward to my husband coming home because he's construction, so he's an essential worker. So I'm like, can you come home so I can talk to you?
Oh, damn. Yeah, it's tough.
Today's the first day that I haven't had to like work, and it's not been a good day.
Yeah, because it's like you need that distraction or something.
I have nothing to do.
Yeah,
and so I feel like everything's yucky.
Harder ones, like I'd be running errands or going out to do something or like meeting people or like being productive, and now it's like, okay, so you can work out.
Yeah, no,
and we're gonna be ripped though when this is done.
I know. I feel like my body's changing already. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe this is what it's like when I'm not really eating as much. And you know, just because of like stress, I'm starting to eat more now, which is good. But yeah, I think I was talking to Sarah earlier, just didn't have an appetite. And some days I have an appetite, some days I don't. So the days that I have an appetite, I'm just eating, you know. And then if I don't have it, I'm trying not to force feed myself because that's not comfortable. So
I have one more suggestion. Sorry, I'm like full of them today.
No, do it. No, this helps me with
having trouble. What was that?
This helps me with future ones, so this is good.
This is more of a sleeping thing. So if you're having trouble sleeping, there's actually a natural supplement, and this is it. It's ashwagandha.
Oh, dude. Okay.
And it is awesome for me. I don't know if it is for anyone else.
It is. So I've tried it, and it actually it chills me the F out. It's been
yeah, me too.
But I'm one of the small percentages where it increases your heart rate. Yeah, REM caps, I've heard those too. So when I'm trying to go to sleep, my heart rate's elevated, and normally it's low. So it's kind of freaked me out a little bit. So maybe ashwagandha is not for me. But I would say, on that note, Jen, ashwagandha is really cheap for those of you guys that are maybe looking for something. If you're having any type of issues, I don't really recommend going right into melatonin just because that is a hormonal supplement. And that's not usually.
And you make that naturally in your body, so you don't.
Yeah, you kind of just
don't have a deficiency in it.
Exactly. You want to support your body to make melatonin, you know. So try to get outside as soon as the sun rises. Try to get your sleep cycle back on. But I would only use melatonin as a supplement as a last resort, absolute last resort before you try sleeping pills with your doctor. But yeah, ashwagandha is really good, and it actually helps, especially if you are feeling a little bit more stressed. Just kind of helps relax you a little bit more. Sorry, I'm not looking at you guys. I'm looking at my dog.
Oh, you're fine.
The dog decided to join us. This is Moose.
Oh. Look at that nugget. Look at that nugget. Well, yay. Well, thanks for coming, guys. I'm probably going to head out of here. I really appreciate it. Oh, Milo's up.
Bye, Milo.
Yeah, bye, guys. Well, I'm going to head out. Stay tuned for next Friday. I'll post it again probably on the Thursday before and stuff everywhere. And is he cute? He's got ew. Okay, that's gross. That was not hair. That was a wet hair. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming. Hopefully this has given you some ideas on what to do And
I do have, sorry, I know you want to leave, but I do have one question. Like, so I am super flexible, right, and hypermobile. So like that's a problem for me in terms of like it's hard for me to even want to stretch. I mean, I came mostly to hang out with you guys and like, but really like I didn't feel too much about anything because it's just my body goes there. So is that just a well thing, or like what do I do in that regard?
I mean, honestly, I would say still do it. Don't push the limits though, because you are hypermobile. You don't want to push the limits too much. It's still going to relax you, especially if you like foam rolling is really what's going to relax you the most.
Yeah.
You know, and if you don't have a foam roller, that's totally fine. Do you actually have one, Jacqueline?
I don't. I'm hoping, like, I think Verve might be like letting us come get a little more things. I'm hoping I can grab one then.
Yeah, because I think they will be lending out some more equipment here now that we know more information. So stay tuned for that and see if you can grab one of the foam rollers. Because that would be really beneficial for you.
I have 2 of them, so if you don't get one from Verve, I think I've got another one somewhere that I can let.
Sweet.
Okay, cool.
Thanks for that, Sarah. Well, sweet. Cool.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Let's enjoy the rest of our Friday and have a good weekend, guys. All right.
All right.
Awesome.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.